What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are continuing our coverage of Char's deleted affair. Last time, the team started their journey to Side 3. We met Fabian, another one of Enzo's moles, who joined the crew. Natalie finally finds out about Enzo's faction and their intentions. He makes Natalie do something for them while they are out in space. In this episode, we will learn exactly what Natalie's secret mission entails. We will finally make it to the Earth sphere, and we will see EFF make moves to take out Zeon remnants. So let's get into this. Natalie is in front of her computer zoning out, thinking about what she has to do. She flashes back to when Enzo gave her the mission. It is actually quite simple, and probably what you expected it to be. All Enzo wants is for Natalie to tempt Char and sway him to join Enzo's faction, restarting the war for independence. Enzo calls her an attractive woman, insinuating that she should sexually tempt Char as well. Okay, not so simple, never mind. While distracted, she gets a call from Char. They're having an emergency meeting, and he wants her to find Fabian. Fabian is in the mess hall talking to Haman. He mentions he was a recruit at the end of the 1-year war and only shot down 3 balls. He is being modest. Natalie comes in and informs him of the meeting. She tells Haman not to hang around Fabian, but Haman is tired of people telling her what to do. At the meeting, they learn that because the booster was destroyed in their previous battle with EFF, they will struggle to slow down at the speeds they are going. They will have to take an even riskier route to be able to slow down and make it to their location on schedule. They could take a safe route, but it will delay their schedule by 20 days, which isn't an option according to Char. After the meeting, Char notices Natalie spacing out again. He says that she could talk to him about anything, but she says this is something that she couldn't discuss with him even if she wanted to. January 21st, UC0083, Mosa. Ricardo is walking around seeing more and more pro-war propaganda everywhere. He notes that this has increased since Enzo gave his interview on the news. He thinks he should contact Char, but it isn't necessarily an emergency just quite yet. A group of young teens are petitioning the military to restart the war for independence. A young girl calls Ricardo Pops. It just so happens to be a young Kara Soon, without her Cindy Lauper hair. Ricardo yells at the kids for wanting to start another war. He feels so powerless on Axis. Meanwhile, the higher-ups of Axis are having a meeting. They note that there has been an increase in their young signing up to join the military. Maharaja decides to allow Enzo to send a fleet towards the Earth sphere. February 11th, UC0083, led by Commander Yuri Hassler, the Axis Advance Fleet heads towards the Earth sphere. Now here's one inconsistency that we see in CDA, or at least the first that actually bugs me. CDA does have a lot of inconsistencies. In Stardust Memory, it is Haman, who is already in a position of power, who sends out the Advance Fleet to help out with the Delaz Fleet. In CDA, she ain't even on Axis, and they use this opportunity to make Enzo the cause for the advanced fleet. February 28th, UC0083. Far out in space near a shoal zone, an EFF fleet is conducting battle simulations. It seems they are prepping on tightening down on Zeon remnants. The commander preps his team for anything that comes at them. They do training exercises in their GM Type C. The RGM-79C GM Type C, also known as the GM Kai, is a late production variant of the GM with new technologies integrated. Unlike the wartime GM, this had time to properly be developed, and because of this, it is highly stable and reliable. This integrates features from the Type D, also known as the Cold Districts type, and the G type, also known as the GM Command. The head Vulcans have increased ammo capacity. The frame has also been simplified to allow for easy modifications and repairs. This unit was originally going to have the same legs used on Alex Gundam, but it would make the unit too expensive to produce. It is equipped with a beam saber, a bulb-up machine gun, a 90mm GM rifle, the BOA XBR-79 beam rifle, and much, much more. Most GMs are designed to utilize all of EFF's armaments if possible. The Ingolstadt makes it close to the Earth sphere and begins decelerating. As they reach cruising speeds, Char's new type senses go off. They detect Minovsky particles at combat level. It means they are prepared for an attack, but it also means they can't communicate and send reinforcements. They notice that they are running training exercises. It seems they have to do a surprise attack. He heads out with Andy and Fabian and leaves Natalie in command of the Ingolstadt. Natalie tells Oksana to distract Haman so she won't run off in her mobile suit. She breaks her monitor and gets Haman to fix it as a distraction, but she is a new type and fixes it instantly. She keeps Haman there by making her listen to her mixtape. Oh no, that's the worst. Andy wonders if they could trust Fabian. Char tells him that he may be a mole for Enzo, but he isn't an EFF spy, so they all still need each other to survive. Ultimately, the glue that is the desire for Zeon independence keeps these soldiers together. It is a weak glue and can break at any moment, however. Char launches in the Gelgoog outer space type. The MS-14U Gelgoog outer space type is a heavily modified version of the Gelgoog commander type and is designed for deep space use. The legs are slimmer than the commander type. One thing you don't really realize until someone points it out is that the Gelgoog doesn't have Vulcans. This version of the Gelgoog fixes this and increases the overall armaments. It is also equipped with a beam saber, a 110mm machine cannon, a beam rifle, a twin beam sword, and most importantly, a 360mm giant bazooka, originally used by the Dom. It also has a shield and a prototype large beam rifle that is 1.8 times more powerful than the typical beam rifle. I love Zeon units that make the mono eye look like a very angry Cyclops with a furrowed brow. It looks so menacing. This will eventually become Andy's mobile suit of choice until the Rick Diaz. Char gives everyone the prototype beam rifle to use. It has a built-in generator, so even the Zaku could use this weapon. It only has 5 rounds, however. Char is in his Gelgoog space type, Andy in his Zaku, and Fabian in his Comfer. They all launch. They plan on making sure no mobile suits leave the Minovsky particle field. The main attack will rely on Natalie in the Ingolstadt. As the EFF fleet continues their training, Char and his team get into position. EFF spots the Ingolstadt, but they aren't in a position to fire yet. Their sneak attack has failed, and it is now up to Char's team to distract them until Natalie could fire. Char begins firing. The GM spread out. Char tells Natalie to fire the beam cannon. She fires and takes out one of the Magellans. One more to go. They have a 100-second cooldown until they can fire the cannon once again. Char notes that they don't have too much real-world experience. Natalie fires a second shot and takes out the second Magellan. Andy and Char go in for melee attacks while Fabian shoots off people trying to escape. Andy is realizing the limitations of his old Zaku. The GM commander notices the red Gelgoog tearing through all his team and realizes that this is the Red Comet. He goes, yeah, F this, and runs away. He tries to convince his team to follow, but they fight him and instantly die. They chase the GM down. The commander is 2 minutes out until he can make radio contact. He notices something on the radar in front of him. He thinks it is reinforcements, but it is actually Zeon. It is a prototype Rick Dom Zwei. This prototype version of the Rick Dom has a lot in common with the Dom Troppen. Char's team and the Dom are able to surround the GM and capture the pilot. Char thanks the Dom pilot. He says his name is Ensign Gerard Sinclair, and he is a part of the Mobile Assault Force 7th Division. He is a part of a small Zeon remnant group that has been hiding out in the Shoal Zone. His team takes the prisoner while Gerard returns the team to the Ingolstadt. Oksana no longer has to distract Haman and goes to get a drink. When he returns, Char relieves Natalie. As she goes to her quarters to rest, she runs into Haman, who is mad that she wasn't informed of the battle. Natalie doesn't have any time or patience for Haman's nonsense currently. Did you have a rough day failing your sneak attack? Take a seat and relax with the warm, bold flavors of Axis coffee service. Nothing says independence like Axis when roasted to perfection. They all relax and note how rusty they have become since the 1-year war. They thank Gerard for all his help. He heads back to his Musai. On his way out, he runs into Haman. He is taken aback by her and wishes he could hang around to talk to her. Haman goes to talk to Char regarding Natalie. Char goes to visit Natalie in her headquarters where she is hanging out in the dark. She is upset about having to kill people today, and Char says you get used to it. Natalie throws herself on Char out of fear. Nice. Gerard's Musai-class ship, the Wimmel, escorts the Ingolstadt to the satellite Ambrosia. They were able to make it to their location in 163 days. March 7th, UC 0083. The Ingolstadt team gets off the ship and feels simulated gravity for the first time in 5 months. They meet with the manager of the base, Eberhard Richter. He tells them that a shuttle will arrive in 4 days to take them to Side 3. Ambrosia is on the other side of the moon, far from Side 3. This is a satellite created from scraps during the end of the 1-year war. Many of the people of Zeon who fled the colonies and didn't end up on Axis came to places like Ambrosia. Now they function as smugglers between the people of Side 3 and the Neon Remnants, as well as Axis. It is a mix of civilians and military remnants, but since they are isolated, the rank in this position is somewhat meaningless and they mainly function as volunteers. Char tasks Haman with taking care of Natalie. He gave her time off while they wait for a shuttle, and he wants Haman to get her back to her old self. Char gives Richter the encryption keys that can be used for Ricardo to contact them. He leaves it in Richter's hands. Char also asks if they can improve the Ingolstadt's speed, even more so than it already is. Richter's engineers will look into it. Andy also wants to take this opportunity to modify his mobile suit as well. The same day that the team makes it to the Earth sphere, on Axis, Hines has a conversation with Maharaja Khan regarding Captain Enzo's rank. In July of UC-0079, there was a fleet led by Lieutenant Commander Jorg Grafenberg of the 1st Space Attack Force. He was a genius when it came to military strategy. One day, he attacked an EFF base. Enzo, who was a lieutenant at the time, was the closest to Jorg's team. Essentially, Enzo came in to find both Jorg's team and the EFF base destroyed. Enzo really did nothing but took all the credit for the situation. This is also how he met his wife, who turns out to be the niece of Nalis Zabi, wife of Degwin. Hines says that his quick rise in ranks is because he married into a Nepo baby lifestyle. Maharaja reminds Hines that most Zeon officers are Nepo babies. Maharaja earned respect in Zeon by being a part of Zeon Daikum's secret services. I think you failed at your job, actually. Because of this, he was given command of Axis, and in exchange, Dolzo Zabi took his daughter Marlene as his mistress, which we ever so subtly touch on when we were talking about Shin Matsunaga. But boy, do I want to know more about that story. This shuts up Hines for now, but he is destined on getting hard evidence against Enzo. Maharaja Khan truly believes that when Char returns, he will return as Castle Rem Daikun and assume his rightful place as a leader of Zeon independence. On Earth, the higher-ups, along with Jamatov Hyman, are conducting a meeting. They are informed about the fleet conducting training exercises that have gone missing and are most likely killed in action. They are more mad about losing battleships and mobile suits than losing people. They also haven't heard back from the fleet they sent to Axis. It has been 20 months, and they also have gone radio silent. Hyman says to compensate the families of the dead with a hefty amount of money in exchange for keeping silent. Their next order of events is to discuss their operation on taking care of any remaining Zeon remnants. They plan on launching the operation in 2 days. And that will do it for this episode. We have finally made it to the Earth sphere. Not too much Haman in this episode, however. Next time, we will see a young Ben Wooder before becoming a Titans member. Haman will also run into a young Ilya, and Char will once again pilot the Zeon. But this time, it will actually have legs. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, all Zeon higher-ups consist of Nepo babies. Peace.